Peace, Hotep, Hetepu, Udama Peaceful, respective greetings to everyone joining us this evening. Today, we will have join us Siba Ramutef Qeb. We will be discussing fraudulent birthdays exposed. This is Ramutef Solar RAturn. So happy Solar RAturn, Mesa Nefer Haru to Ramutef. And I thought it'd just be great to have him on here today, this evening, since he on my Solar RAturn spoke on my chart and things and happenings about me, and also sharing with me the truths on my fraudulent birthday. So I am going to bring Ramutef Qeb on. He will be hosting, as the description says. I just wanted to greet everyone. I will be here in the studio this evening with Ramutef and participating in the comment section mostly. And I just wanted to address everyone. And also, I appreciate everyone's thoughts that are with me. And I'm definitely looking forward also to my lecture tour, which starts this Saturday. So I will be in DC and also with the people that will be joining me there. I look forward to seeing you all. I was actually recapping, going over some notes yesterday, and I also, because y'all know when I come back from a trip, I have a recap of the event. So I was going over items and preparing for the recap and filling in the frame, creating the framework. So as the event happens, when I get back home, I can fill in the blanks of the framework. So either way, I'm excited. I definitely can't wait to do the recap. Right now, I'm going to stop talking and have Ramutef Qeb come on, and everyone along with me. Happy Solar RAturn to Ramutef Qeb. Peace, Ramutef. How are you? Dua, duawu, hetepu, hetepu.
Peace. Upon the top of my Uncle Jed, Uncle Josh, and Nev, Uben, Nefi Ke, Panaburu, Ma'ati to everyone. Yes, this is my Solar RAturn. I appreciate you allowing me to come on today. Gratitude. Hopefully everybody been having a joyfulest day, even though in certain parts is looking kind of sketchy with all this craziness going on. And definitely thank you. It's been a very exciting and busy day for myself. Definitely am not what they call not disappointed, because the day's going to still continue. And that's what I wanted to bring about today's topic while on my Solar RAturn. So before we begin, I'm going to go ahead and speak on the lecture tour for Karmic Dynasty. Just give me a few moments to set up and we will begin. So again, for those who are joining in, the Karmic Dynasty presents her lecture tour starting off in Washington, D.C. on August 21st on the Gregorian calendar this Saturday, as well as coming to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on September 4th for the Natal Chart, as well as the next one in Columbus, Ohio for September 18th, which is the Unhomeschooling Evolution, or was it the Unschool Evolution tour, or not tour, lecture. And then last and not least, it is the Detroit, Michigan on October 16th with the Matriarchal Magic. So again, just to give heads up, tickets are no longer available for this event coming up this Saturday on August 21st on the Gregorian calendar. Definitely be on the lookout if you're still looking to donate books. Make sure you email, contact Joy Island or Karmic Dynasty at mkdtnt@gmail.com, as well as for the Pittsburgh event for the Natal Chart. I'm still looking for vendors. Definitely tickets are still available. Definitely check it out when you get a chance. You can either email me or you can email Joy or Karmic Dynasty at mkdtnt@gmail.com or myself at dtaliaferro84@gmail.com. Also, again, speaking on the unhomeschool or the unschooled evolution tour, not tour, but lecture on Saturday, September 18th in Columbus, Ohio. Tickets are still available. Definitely, if you want to contact and get more info or for tickets, look into the banner, check us out. And again, email at mkdtnt@gmail.com for more information. When it comes to the last and not least, one of the ones that's going to be one of my favorites is the October 16th on a Saturday out there in Detroit, Michigan. Tickets are definitely available. Tickets are definitely available for this event. And again, as always, information is right above and right here in that section. And as well, if you want more information, again, contact Karmic Dynasty and Joy Allen at mkdtnt@gmail.com. Do. Much gratitude, much gratitude. So today is on a very, 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 very great part that I wanted to speak on. A lot of people may not know about a solar RAturn, so I'm going to give you from my perspective so you can understand it just a little bit more. But before we begin, I want to give a shout out to the matriarch Salima Ellis. Appreciate you very much. Definitely. And I appreciate your kind words. Definitely. And those who are making it into the room, definitely sit back for a second. We're going to definitely get into it. So when it comes to the, solar RAturn, most people will choose a day. So if you look into the last video when we was dealing with Joy, for her reading just talking about her actual birthday. So a lot of people don't understand that when dealing with time itself, you have three motions of times. And if you're following a lot of the videos, you understand that there's daily time, yearly time, and great year time. Within those time frames, you have a 24-hour cycle or 24 hours and 35-minute cycle that most people don't know. Then you have the 360 cycle, which is the solar time, which is dealing with the us revolve around the sun in a 360-degree manner. Then you also have the what you call the great year time, which is dealing with the phenomenon precession. So when you calculate all those phenomena coming together, you'll start to understand the concept of our reality within this time. The key point for your solar RAturn. So a lot of people are not aware that when it comes to your birthday, with you going by that Gregorian calendar, your birthday is basically off. Your birthday doesn't return to its original spot from time-wise every 9 years. Reason for it is because the galaxy has its own little cosmic flow. That cosmic flow, starting now, has been thrown off because we've been following that Gregorian calendar. That Gregorian calendar is a 365, which is basically lunar cycle calendar. And then when you go by astrology and dealing with Western, you understand that it's on a 30-day basis. Anything with 30 days in it is a lunar cycle calendar. Sorry to tell you. So most people understand that your sign is not really your sign. And then if you want to get more info, you understand that a lot of people are like, oh, this is some new signs. It's not no new signs. They've been like that since the beginning. It's just that we're just now really catching on to the times. That time frame of how the sun moves through each and every sign of the zodiacs, that's when we get the understanding of there's 13 signs. There's actually a couple more, but we're not here to discuss that. But solely how we know now, it's only 13, not 12, there's not 30 days with each sign because that just throws everything off. When it comes to each sign, it has its own particular amount or allotment of days. So, for instance, we're in a season what I call Sekhmet or Herokuti, which is Leo. Leo started on August 10th, around noon on August 10th. So there's a time factor that people are not factoring in when it comes to dealing with time or even dealing with these signs, because there's a transfer of energy that flows when it comes to dealing with the counting of time, and with us understanding that there's 24 hours and 35 minutes, not just 24, then you start to get the concept. So understanding that, now we can move into the solar return. So a solar return is basically your sun coming back, your natal sun. Hold on, let me get my hands together. Your natal sun going back into its original spot every year. That indicates a whole year for you in a 360-degree cycle. So when it comes to understanding that time frame, say for instance, like myself, I had it as the ticker, or not the ticker, the thumbnail. I put my chart there specifically so folks can see that I was born at 1:30 a.m. in the morning, and then now with 37 years later, the sun goes exact in my exact position where my star is at, or how you say your birthright, at 12:54 p.m. So when you actually doing a day cycle of my return, it starts at 12:54 p.m. And then if you want to go on a whole 24-hour cycle, it goes right back into the next day, which makes it on August 18th, around 12:54 p.m. Now, if you add the 35 minutes to it, it becomes a whole different time. So I just always go to 1 o'clock. Every time I do certain things, it will be 1 o'clock. So for instance, there's my chart right there. So you understand that from the last video that we did dealing with the flashcards, I'm going to do another flashcard housing system, but this time I came prepared a little bit. So as you see up here in the left-hand corner, you see basically my natal information from Guantanamo Bay, 1:30 a.m., and then doing your solar return. You understand that time frame is a lot different. But if you notice right here, where like I was describing last time, third house where my sun is at, it's an exact from 0 degrees. When you come dealing with those degrees, it makes it, a little funny. But I'll break this whole chart down so you can get a concept of how a natal chart and what a transit chart looks like and how solar return fits into it. So when it comes to the chart itself, you're going to notice that you have your natal chart. Your natal chart is going to be what is called in the center spot. Anything that's dealing with your natal information, in a sense, is right here in the center. On the outside, it's dealing with the transit, or where the flow of time is now, in a sense. Understanding that dealing with a Western, you're looking at counterclockwise. So everything that we're looking at is counterclockwise. Understanding that the flow of time goes clockwise because the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So when looking at it from my chart, everything is combined into what is called my world. So this is my world with the world in it. And when you look at it, you'll start to see that at this marking where it says Taurus rising, that is what you call your AC or your rising sign. So when it comes to the time frame when this was done, you'll see that the AC is in Libra, because at this specific time, the rising or the constellation that was rising in the east was Libra. And then when it comes to the sun was basically hitting the midhaven, which was basically, high noon in a sense. Peace to Sunfire. Peace to you, peace to you. And peace to you as well. Again, Salima Ellis, matriarch. So yeah, to get any further, for you, Sunfire, just to go ahead of time, with your birthday being 8/19, that makes you what is called a Sekhmet or a Leo. So going within this part of the chart, Uh-oh. I think I messed something up. I think I messed something up. There we go. So looking at the chart one more time. So understanding that when it comes to dealing with houses, you have your first house, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So last time in the last broadcast that I did, I was telling you about flashcards dealing with your first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth, and sixth house. Today, I want to go a little, adventurous, and we're going to do 7 through 12. So now we're going to project what we predicted in the last video into this video to project our movements, what we're going to manifest into this world. So to give you even more breakdown, again, the center wheel is my natal chart. The outside wheel is current time. Understanding that the AC is basically like how the Taurus is rising in a sense, if you were to look at it that way, but it's not at this particular time because it's all set to what's in my world. There's a vortex in a sense that goes clockwise, counterclockwise, hurricane style, flat line, all that good stuff. So basically, you got to view it like a galaxy to give more information, because this is basically what you're looking at, your personal galaxy in a sense. So when you look at it, I'll describe each one moving forward on the outside ring. So we're starting with my first house. You have what is called I think that is my black moon, my Lilith. So the current Lilith is basically right there in Ptah. Then above it, you will see what they call a north node. Above that, you'll see the dwarf planet called Ceres. And then above that, you'll see the constellation. You'll see the planet Uranus. Going above, you'll see Chiron, you'll see Neptune, you'll see part of Fortune, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, the white moon, the south node, your AC, Venus, Mars, Mercury, Sun, and the midhaven, all in the outside ring. No doubt, no doubt. I'll definitely check into that for you, Caesar. But moving forward. So today, knowing what a solar return. So when the sun enters in the exact spot of when I came into this world, that is what you actually call a solar return. Some people, or most people, choose the particular day. So when they wake up, say for instance, August 17th, your birthday's August 17th, you're going to take the whole day and make it your day. No. There's a frequency that happens when you're on your body's frequency. So you ever notice in certain parts of the year when as you're growing up, that sometimes you will have good times and bad times during your birthday. In a sense, the whole day started off good. So say for instance, your son went into exact, let's say as soon as you wake up at 8 in the morning, so the rest of the day is going to be a freaking hell of a good day. Now just notice that later on in the year, your sun doesn't start till like, let's say 8 p.m. and you started your day off at 7 a.m. and you notice how things were just not going as well. So as the things were not going as well until that time at 8, you notice how everything starts to get even better until the next day. And then if you stay on that flow, you'll you'll be energized, charged. You understand that you'll be so empowered around this time. So the best way I try to explain it when it comes to the way that I like to do it, I like to use the imagination. So there's a anime called Seven Deadly Sins, and there's an individual called Escanor, and he has this he's the lion sin of pride. So when the sun hits high noon, he becomes what they call the one, meaning he becomes invincible for 1 minute. So it's kind of like that concept when it comes to dealing with your solar return, especially if you know the time or search for the time. During that time, you become a whole different being. Your vibrations is higher. If people are not used to your vibration, they'll start to fall asleep. And another way of giving some kind of insight to that, if you ever seen an anime called Bleach, when their spiritual pressure is so much, it puts people either to sleep or they just disintegrate. That's the type of vibration that you're basically vibrating. Give me 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Gotta put myself on pause real quick.
Peace again, everyone. And definitely, let's see. Yes, peace to everyone. I'm reading the comments section. And I see people speaking greetings specifically to me. I appreciate you. Greetings to you as well. Peace, love, and light. And Ramutef Qeb is ready again, looks like.
Yeah, my apologies, people. I had to settle something real quick. So yeah, going back to that. So those are the type of concepts I like to bring to the table when it comes to understanding how a solar return kind of works. And then if once you look at my chart is specifically, um, you'll notice how mine's went. And it's like basically around the same time, like I was talking about in the anime in a sense. But there's other aspects that comes to it, like Mercury and Mars. Then you understand that in certain other aspects, it's in the highest point. So that's like a energy vortex or energy spike that happens within, certain parts. So a lot of people don't know, and I learned this from one of my teachers, my great teachers, Captain Ike from Sidereal Revolution. He introduced to me what it's called a Mars effect. So if you look into it, not the video game Mars effect, but we're talking about Mars effect. So in the left hand side, you'll see the rising sign, right? So there was a study done where it comes to dealing with astrology, and not even just astrology, just energy readings itself, that eastern part has a very huge energy spike. And then people who have, let's just say, certain planets between their first and their 12th house have predominant uh, traits of these planets or those characteristics of these planets. So say for instance, like myself, you have Chiron in the North Node and Ceres. So those are very deep traits that I carry within my being or what I was blessed at. Then when it comes to what is called the MC, where my MC is right there in the ninth house, if you look up to the top right, there's an energy spike up there, and that's because how they say, the sun is at its highest point or its midhaven, and it's at its highest point. When it's at its highest point, it's a lot of energy coming down as well. And then in certain parts, so let's say where the AC is at on the bottom right, that's another energy spike. So there's certain spikes of energy that becomes very predominant in a person's life, let alone just everybody around this world, to be honest. So when it comes to that, that's the type of energy you got to understand that flows within you. And then when you have your solar return in certain spots, it indicates, a very profound type of force within that you can actually manifest within yourself, within your reality. So like for myself, when it comes to my solar return, dealing with the third house as well as what it will be the ninth house. So when it comes to the type of energy that I can bring, it's on a whole nother scale because how they say, well, no, it'll be actually in the 10th house. I'm sorry. It'll be in the 10th house actually. So because we're dealing with Pennsylvania, because that's where I reside right now. So it'll be in the 10th house. So dealing with that 10th house energy of Mars, Mercury, and the sun correlating with my current natal chart, it's an influential power that comes with it. So I'm going to initiate my magic words so everybody can follow along. Also, make sure you have your pen and paper so you can follow along and literally learn and study how I see these charts. So the initial magic word is when you're dealing with your sun, I want you to view it as your soul. Mercury is your mind, Venus is your heart, Mars is the things that you take action to, whether they be good or bad. Saturn is the things that are your structures, your limitations. Jupiter is the things that you expand in as well as you expand in others. Uranus is the planet of change. Neptune, I just simply call it luck, but it's also dealing with the spirit and imagination, things of that nature. And then you also have Pluto, which is dealing with power or transformation. When it comes to the North Node and South Node I always tell people or how people view it as something that you have already mastered or something that you always retreat to when things are not going right into your world. North Node is like the potential where you need to be pushing yourself or using that type of skill to be learning. So say, for instance, for me, you see that I have in a 13 chart, it will be more so on the level of what is called Ophiuchus or Scorpio. So for the sake of the conversation, we'll just say it's in Scorpio or Circe. So during that level, I mastered that in this life, in that last lifetime, I'm sorry, in my past life, I already mastered Scorpio. Now I'm being pushed to master Taurus. So it's in that type of level. When it comes to dealing with Ceres, not serious, but Ceres is dealing with how you say the profound nature that you have when it comes to that. That's the type of energy it comes from. And then when it comes to Chiron, most people call it the wounded healer. For myself, I'll just tell people straight up, Chiron is the points of healing that you learn and manifest and grow from. So when you master it, you use those potentials to heal others. When it comes to the black moon and the white moon, the black moon and the white moon is dealing with certain things that you keep hidden and certain things that you can bring light to. That's the best way I can explain it. Other people have their own type of interpretations, but for today's class, this is what I'm showing everyone, or what I want to give everyone to understand. So moving forward, before we go any further, does anyone have any questions before I go into breaking down what house and start the flashcard so we can start having a little fun with this? Oh, you're one of them. You're probably one of them individuals who probably got that Mercury or Venus thing going on in your chart. So to explain that one, yeah, you probably got Mercury or Venus within your chart in Virgo, and that's a lot of, as I was explaining earlier, Mercury is your mind. So you would think more towards you being a Virgo than you are Leo, but your sun sign's a Leo. But the reason why you have a lot of confusion is because a lot of people still don't understand their rising sign. The rising sign is basically dealing with how you say your physical body. So the way that I like to play around with this is that we're all familiar with the what the heck is this called again? The Avatar, Last Airbender, right? So each and every one of us have a body that's significant to one of those nations, whether it be Fire Nation, Earth Nation, Water Nation, Air Nation, things of that nature. So when you look at that rising sign, that's the type of sign that you are embodying. So for instance, like me, Taurus, I have a Taurus look, but also the Leo that's in me, and then also that's the Pisces in me. Then the other planets are just the influences or the influential energy that I'm able to use and manifest into my daily cycle or my daily movements between ponderable matter. So when it comes to you specifically, Caesar, it may be because of you not understanding what your rising sign is, and once you understand that, then you'll start to flow into certain things. So, for instance, with you not feeling you being a Leo, the reason I can say specifically is because of the way that you may not be trusting people, or the way that you have all this type of creative love for certain things, and then with that Virgo part of yourself, that mental part, is probably the part where you're very I don't want to say OCD like, but in a sense you do have probably work real good with your hands. But it all also depends on what your rising sign, because if I find out what your rising sign is, then it'll make it a lot different, or then I'll be able to explain it more, so you'll be able to focus on who you really are versus what they're telling you who you are. Because during that time frame, what is it, 999? So they're basically calling you a Virgo in a sense, but you're not a Virgo. You're probably your Mercury or your Mars or even your Venus is in Virgo, but no, you're definitely at that lower end of Leo, because there's like a few more days about. yeah, a few more days until Virgo, because Virgo don't start until about September 15th. But if it's not in the 15th, it'll start sometime in mid 16th of September on the Gregorian calendar. That's a good question. So all three, because once you master all three, then you'll be able to literally flow into it. So like again, if you're dealing with your soul, you want to start working with your sun sign. If you're dealing with your energy and motion or your emotions, you want to start using your moon sign. Your rising sign is something that you just daily do. So one thing I try to tell people, and this is going towards the how you say the unschooled evolution, the contributions I want to put in is to learn how to master those occupations or your success level. And then depending on your success level as well, I will put it in the category of where your MC is at, because there's a tail that goes with both of these between your ninth and your 10th house, which you'll excel in, which you'll be a teacher, or in both of these houses, you can be some type of teacher. However, depending on the placement of how far it is and whatever degrees, because I don't really deal with the degrees, but I'm starting to learn it a little bit more personally. I just look at it, feel it, vibe with it, and go. So when it comes to determine how successful, honestly, it's dealing with your second house, your eighth house, whatever's in your 10th house and your ninth house, because that's the degree of levels of how you can succeed in life. And then if you flow with those energies, you'll definitely be able to do it. So for instance, like currently right now, at this present time, during my solar return, you have, we'll look at my 10th house, right? So I have my Lilith, natal Lilith in the 10th house, with now Neptune in retrograde and my Chiron's in retrograde. One's in Pisces, the other one's in Aquarius. So the type of energy that flows within the 10th house was dealing with, on a basic level, we're taught to, how you say, achieve the things that we can achieve. So when it comes to that spiritual internet flow, that's what we're doing currently. Because one thing I learned about Aquarius is that it's definitely dealing with, the high tech world, things of that nature. Now that we're in the 10th house, we're definitely doing that. So it's in the level of teaching in that zone. Now we're talking about the healing factor of the weirdness of everyone. So when it comes to the trusting part of information, or the trusting of certain partners, or the trusting of certain jobs that we've been taking on, this is, for me, this is a type of area that I'm really thinking on. Should I be real spiritually attuned with the things that I do? But at the same time, with Neptune being in retrograde, Neptune is focusing on your fears, and it's sending you those dreams and things of that nature. So I'm afraid to succeed, or I'm afraid to basically show out or take control of certain aspects of my life. Then with that Chiron being there, and it's also in retrograde, it's a point in time where I need to heal that point, because my black moon is there. With my black moon being there, my black moon is telling folks that, yeah, I don't trust people. Or if someone comes to me with a wink and a smile, I'm gonna look at you crazy and be like, yeah, you're out to get me, so I'm gonna get you first. So those are the type of things that I have to deal with personally when you look at my chart. When it comes to another person's chart, it's a lot different. And then when it goes so on and so forth, we keep on going. So before we go into the next stage and start explaining each house, does anybody else have any questions that they want to, shoot out there? Gratitude. No? Yes, no, maybe so. All right, moving forward. So now let's go back to the houses. Now we're dealing with 7 through 12. My cards are going to be dealing with 7 through 12. 7 house, on a basic level, they call it the house of partnerships. And some people will see it as relationships. Some people will see it as relations with others. And also dealing with, sometimes they'll focus on with marriage as well. This seventh house is not necessarily dealing with marriage, but at the same time, you just want to look at the type of people that you have around in your life. The eighth house is dealing with how you say circulation, or how you circulate your money, how you gather money, how you deal with certain aspects of your life, like when it comes to dealing with death. How do you deal with death? Are you okay with it or not? Are you trying to go past it? Are you able to let go of it? Things of that area. And that eighth house, that's what that deals with. When it comes to the ninth house is dealing with, basically your education, how far you can reach beyond the stars and collect that information and bring it back to this world. That's the way that I personally view it, and I would like everyone else to view it at this present moment. When it comes to the 10th house, we're dealing with basically, in a short version, reputation, or basically how you say how well you can work with others in a certain level, or how far you can take things. When it comes to the 11th house, is basically going back to it, groups, the type of people that you keep around you, or no, I don't want to say keep around you, but where your friends, your friend zones, where you keep your the people that you look up to, like say for elders, or your family members or friends, or the adopted friends. That's what that house is dealing with. And then 12 is dealing with your dreams, your aspirations, your dreams and aspirations to go deep into what's your spiritual side, and it's very deep in that type of level. So to explain it more, in the 12th house, dealing with the flow of time, going from 12 to 7, starting from the left to the right. So on a person's daily basis, when you wake up and whatever sign is rising in the east, depending on what constellation it is, we're talking about, like right now, the sun rises within the Sekhmet Leo. So in that type of zone, the 12th house is also dealing with the time that people pray, or the people meditate in certain times, or sun gazing. So right now you're dealing with Sekhmet energy. You're not only dealing with Sekhmet energy, you're also dealing with Tahuti energy. You're also dealing with New energy. You're also dealing with Ogun energy. You're also dealing with Eshu energy. You're also dealing with Arumala energy. Those are the type of things that you're dealing with when the sun rises in your location. So if you're a person who prays, meditates, do spiritual work, those individuals that I named are individuals that you want to work with at this present time during that hour. So when you wake up, you do your prayer, your Hesi, your Saku, your affirmations to summon the cosmic forces that allow you love, guidance, protection during that time frame. So, and then as the day goes on, you'll start to see the works. You'll start to see the work. So now I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle these cards, and we'll go get to it. So the question is, what should we manifest when we wake? What should we manifest when we wake? What are we going to put our energy into as we wake? Wake as in waking up. Just a quick shuffle, and then we're going to get to it. So I'm going to draw 6 cards for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12th house. And I'm going to put another card for a side. So before we begin, remember the question is, what shall we manifest? I can't see nothing on this keyboard. Should we manifest for tomorrow? Yes, I do. I'm actually putting together, in a sense, a couple therapy. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll definitely help you out. Myself and the Queen Mother, Hamet Aspa As, we're putting together a couples reading for those who are interested. We'll be talking about that very soon moving forward. But yes, if you want to contact me, we definitely can do that, and we can definitely work with you on what you're looking for. So what shall we manifest for tomorrow? That's what the cards are dealing with. So again, we're dealing with the 7th house, dealing with partnership. What type of partnerships do we want to manifest? What type of energy we want to put into getting our partners, whether they be in relationships, whether they just be in business. But we're more so focused on business because we don't need to worry about relationships right now. If we want to deal with relationships, we can go back to the 6th house, but right now we're not dealing with that. So the card that we are using for this one. I love it. Jupiter loves us. You see that, everybody? Jupiter loves us. That's from the last time. Jupiter is definitely telling us, like, hey, abundance. We need to gather abundance. We have so many opportunities if we start to share our gifts. That's what Jupiter is saying. So before we begin even further, that's my fault. I'm going to be a bad teacher right now. I want everybody on their paper write 7 through 12 going down. 7th house, you want to put on a basic level, they say, I partner is for the 7th. I need to get me some better lighting for real, for real. I apologize. I'm a little, how you say, excited. So I partner is for 7th. The 7th house is I partner. We're dealing with I partner. 7 for I partner. Now we're going to put the planet Jupiter in there. And remember when I was speaking on earlier, Jupiter is the things that we expand within ourselves and within others. So the key word for this will be I explore. So exploring the certain regions of certain partners. And then if you want to take my chart or use my chart for an example, we'll say 7th house is dealing with both Sagittarius and Scorpio. But, you know, lo and behold, if you can read it, in a sense, if you know the cosmos, you understand that this moon is actually in the 13th sign. But for the sake of this conversation, we're just going to keep it in Scorpio. So you have my natal Jupiter. So that's already, you know, key point for myself with natal Jupiter. Natal Neptune. Now we're going to go ahead and forget about the moon. We're going to just put Jupiter in that bad boy. So we're dealing with Sagittarius energy and Scorpio energy with Jupiter. So for the listening audience, you got I partner, which is dealing with partnerships, people that you're going to gravitate to. Jupiter bringing abundance and opportunity. So to you, the audience, what do you feel that is speaking to you when it comes to I partner, I explore? Go ahead and put it in the comments and we can get started. What type of energy do you think Jupiter is going to bring you within manifesting into the world tomorrow? What type of energy are you thinking of? We have trust, trusting in the relationships that you have with others, that the opportunities are coming, trusting in those opportunities. Who's next? So we just have trust. All right, so trust will be the key word to use for tomorrow. The type of things that you want to manifest when it comes to partnerships and certain relationships that you have in business-wise. Trust is going to be the key factor. Knowing trust, or knowing how to trust those individuals. Because if you put the energy into it and you're trusting that energy to manifest, it's going to bring about something within that relationship that you have with others. Ashe, duo. Now, for the next one, we're going to go ahead and tackle the 8th house. So the eighth house is basically how you share. We're going to put into sharing. What type of gifts are you going to, what type of energy you're going to put into sharing your gifts? So we're going to forget Saturn and Pluto in the eighth house, and whatever card I draw, that's going to be the energy we want to put into. So for the eighth house, you're going to put I circulate. 8 is dealing with I circulate. What type of gifts are we going to share as we're putting a lot of energy and trust within the partnerships that we have? Now we're going to see what type of gifts that we can share within that partnership. Oh, these cards love us. Just like in the last time. So now we're dealing with Uranus. Uranus is dealing with the planet of change. And it's also, you start looking into it, rebellion, things of that nature. So we're not here to rebel. We're here to see and uplift ourselves and manifest certain things. So what things that we need to change? Knowledge. Are we speaking on changing knowledge, changing in the knowledge? Or are we talking about change within partnerships? But either or, we'll still use it for both. So now you have the planet of change, the energy of Uranus, and the planet of change dealing with the key word, I aspire. So what type of energy do you think I aspire is saying to yourself? What type of change are you going to bring into sharing what you have? And then I'll go ahead and put that as in knowledge, changing the certain knowledge that you share, the certain things that you have probably learned. You're going to let go of the old things and bring about a whole new change within our lives. So we're going to trust in the energy that we put into our partnerships, and we're going to change the certain knowledge that we bring about within the whole circle or within the whole group, within our whole business. So the whole business is going to be about trust and knowledge. Trusting the knowledge, that will be the type of energy that we will manifest within this world. So we're dealing with, again, I circulate, dealing with the eighth house. We're dealing with I circulate, I aspire. I circulate, I aspire. And you aspire to change within our knowledge. Again, going back to trusting within our partnerships, being able to change the knowledge or change the views of certain things that we put out there. So those are the things you want to manifest starting off tomorrow. You want to trust in those partnerships, and you want to change certain aspects of our knowledge as we're joining in this trust of partnership. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm over here jamming to my to house music. I appreciate y'all though for being here with me. Anyone else? You have any other words you want to put into for the eighth house? Because this is not just for me. This is for all of us, to be honest. Those who are here. Facts. Yeah, I know, right? Definitely. So now, again, trust, knowledge, trust in the partnerships, changing the knowledge that we share with folks. So now we're going to go ahead and go with the ninth house, which is also dealing with knowledge. But then the ninth house, we're going to keep it on a simple note. Call it I explore. Where's my 9 at? I gotta get used to this computer for real. So now we're gonna go ahead and move into the ninth house. The ninth house is dealing with I explore. I explore is dealing with, again, knowledge, even more knowledge, higher knowledge. We're dealing with, but in this case, we're gonna just go ahead and put in philosophies. Philosophies is going to be the key tone for this. What type of philosophies are you going to bring to the table of manifestation? Will it be your own? Will it be those that you learn from? We don't know, but we're going to find out when I draw this card. Ooh, that's even better. So now we're going to go ahead and put this out there. So the type of energy we need to bring is going to be that fire. We're going to bring that fire to the people, or that fire to that, or that passion, in a sense, graceful passion for that matter. So now fire, we're dealing with fire. So when it comes to fire, we're dealing with desire, fire and desire, dealing with your boy Rick James, and so on and so forth. But fire will be that key one. Notice it's like a fairy in a sense, which is pretty cool. Hopefully, boom, there we go. Let me tilt it. Boom, there we go. Fire and creation, creating fire. That's the type of energy you want to bring to the ninth house. So we're going to be very passionate, very direct with what we bring to our philosophies. So that person or yourself, or that energy that you want to summon into. So let's say, for instance, the 3 fire signs, which will be Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. So within those energies of those 3 signs, those are the type of energy you want to bring in. And since the sun is in a fire sign right now, you already got that's already got your back. Now you got to deal with what's going on with Aries. And the funny part about it, in Aries, Uranus is in there right now. So that's even funnier. So they're trying to tell us to rely on those type of energies that we're putting forth. So for the ninth house, I want folks to, what's the first thing that comes to mind when dealing with fire? Fire and exploring. What type of passion are you going to explore into? Write it in the comments, please. Purification. How you say, being purified by the flames. That's what I'm talking about. So trusting in the partnerships that we or want to manifest into the world. We're going to change certain aspects of our knowledge so we'll be able to share it. Now we're going to bring from that knowledge, we're going to purify those who are around us, or purification of the satisfaction of the, how you say, the creative part of our love, the creative part of not running away, and the creative part of being a leader, or being very direct into what we need to do, where we need to focus most of our energy. We need to bring a lot of that fire to it, because when it comes to the actual placements of these constellations, we're dealing with Uranus. Uranus is in Aries. You got the sun that's already in the sun that's in Leo, and then if you want to go as far, you got Pluto that's in Sagittarius. So you got transformation, change, and creativity working with that purification, as you know, currently, just if you want to add those collective energies to it. So trust, knowledge, purification. Those are the type of things that you want to manifest into the world tomorrow. And I'll bring it back up. So again, we're dealing with 7th, 8th, and 9th now. You have trust in the 7th. Come on, where's the thing? You got knowledge in the 8th. And you got purification in the 9th. Those are the type of energies you want to bring to manifest. So to go even deeper, when it comes to those keywords that we just displayed, your 7th, 8th, and 9th house is what is called the positions of energy and motion. So those type of energies that you want to put into in motion, those words are trust, knowledge, purification. Those are things that we need to bring into this world starting tomorrow. Within that, you're also going to bring the energy of Leo, Aries, and Pluto. Those three signs or constellations in the sense of the stars that's within them. If you look them all up, those are the type of energies you want to bring as well into motion. Bring all that into motion because it's going to start to manifest whatever 10, 11, and 12 is going to be speaking about. So now we're going to be dealing with 10. 10 is dealing with, on a basic level, I achieve. Untap energy. Yeah. All right, we're going to go back to that. So, okay. Thank you for that. I just missed that. My apologies. So now, 7, dealing with trust. 8, knowledge. 9 is dealing with purification and untapped energies. That's what we're going to be working with. Or that's what we're going to be working with, manifesting into the world, I should say. Definitely. I appreciate that. So going to 10. 10 is dealing with I achieve. So in this particular keyword that we'll use for here would be taking power. We'll say taking power. Taking power in this form of not necessarily conquering, but literally harnessing what you have developed from 7th through 9th. So those keywords again is trust. Was it trust, knowledge, purification, untapped energies? So those are the type of ones that you want to bring in. So we're going to take power. We're going to focus on taking that type of power and focus it all into the 10th house. Whereas the 10th house is talking about not necessarily what you can achieve in, but more so what you're going to be able to take power over. And the card that we are blessed with for this one. Ooh. Let's see. We're dealing with Pisces and Piscean energy. And that's funny how, if you notice how the chart itself is flowing with it. Yeah, this is going to be great. Yeah. So if I were to put these in, this will work perfectly. But we're going to, again, delete all that you see in the 10th house. It's just letting us know that that 12th house, 10th house thing, dealing from last time, just like Neptune, we're going to be dealing with I dream. So you got I achieve, I dream. And if you want to put it in layman's terms, it's like saying, you know, whatever I dream, I can achieve. How do I take that power? By bringing what? Solitude. By bringing peace to oneself, by healing oneself through meditation, not even just meditation, but taking the time to relax and feel what you have collected, put it in a ball and summon it and release that stuff out into the world, because this is what we're manifesting. So what's the first thing that comes to mind when you're dealing with I achieve and I dream? For me, it will be, for me, taking that power is harnessing the flows of not so much of the chaos that's within my life or the chaos that's within others' lives. What it is time for us to do is to trust who we're with, bringing that balance of not struggling so much, bringing that harmony as well, balance and harmony of all that collectiveness and energy that we put in. Once we release it, it's going to bring balance and harmony to whatever we're trying to take power of or take control of within our respective lives. Definitely feeling that. Pisces is going to do a lot of great things for us. That's a fact. And then with Chiron being in there, this is a point of healing. But again, that's if we were to use more of the chart into that, especially for myself. bringing a lot of that chaos out of my life is going to bring a lot of balance. But that chaos can also fuel a lot of the passion because we're dealing with that fire in the ninth, because that fire is going to ignite it. And then when you start to put the elements together, you understand that you're going to create a steam, or you're going to create a mist so you can hide between the crevices and seek out anything that's plaguing you. So those are the type of energies that we're going to bring in. So again, in the 10th house, we're dealing with balance and harmony. Those are the type of energies we're going to bring to the table when dealing with our 10th house, or basically bringing that energy into existence and pushing forward balance and harmony within everything that we do between the people that we circulate with and the people that we partner with. And with those type of people are going to bring abundance. Where is it? Those type of people are going to bring abundance as well as change with a whole bunch of passion. That's going to help fix a lot of things that we're dealing with in this world. So now, to move forward, we're going to go ahead and go to the 11th house. And the 11th house, on a basic level, is dealing with I aspire. And I aspire is dealing with, again, we're dealing with groups. What type of groups are we going to be searching for? Who are the ones that we're looking for guidance from to push forward all the energy that we collected from 7th through 9th? Once we released it, who are the type of people that we're going to give that to? Who are the type of people who are going to gravitate to us, because that Pisces is already gravitating everyone to us, because that's what Pisces does. It reminds you to come together in a sense. Instead of pulling apart, you want to actually come together and make that sequence of wholeness and balance, bringing that harmony of that chaos that's in your life as well as the non-chaos, because everything has to be in balance. And you're dealing with, how you say, the laws of gender and correspondence, things of that nature. So the 11th house, we're dealing with that. Yeah, dealing with the Ramesh, correct. So now we're going to go ahead and find out what card is going, what type of energy we need to bring to that 11th house of goals. What goals are we going to put our energy into? Dang, Sagittarius loves us. See, there's a lot of that fire and passion coming together. I swear in my life. Whole bunch of fire, whole bunch of knowledge. Boy, I tell you, this is going to be awesome. Y'all use these keywords for tomorrow. I swear you not, it's going to uplift you in a whole bunch of ways. Trust me. So we got to bring that Sagittarius to that 11th house. So again, that's going back to I explore. So now, if you want to put it in there in retrospect, a whole bunch of abundance and knowledge is definitely going to be the best part of manifestation, bringing forward. So what type of energy do you feel that Sagittarius is going to bring to you when it comes to dealing to the people that you need? So in a sense, Sagittarius is dealing with leadership as well. So for me, it's just basically letting people know to take the lead or bring about leadership. So as for you, for the listening audience, what do you feel Sagittarius is going to bring to you energy-wise? Are we going to run from it? Are we going to gain from it? Are we going to try to push towards a lot of spiritual balance? Dealing with the people, which is the Ramech. So the type of power, the type of energy we're going to put into is the understanding of promotion. promotion within those who are around us, promoting those who need to reach those higher levels of knowledge. So the things that we put together, all together, will be Sagittarius. So, and it's so crazy because you still got Aries, still got a lot of fire. So fire has a big thing. Passion has a very big thing with us today. Build communities, no doubt. Promoting, building communities within the people that we already are working with. Bringing that knowledge of change, bringing that passion of fire, bringing that balance and harmony, and promotion and building communities. Definitely. No doubt, no doubt. So now the last house, last and final house, we're dealing with the 12th house, which is dealing with back to dealing with Pisces again. In a sense, we're dealing with the basic level of I dream. I dream again. It deals with the imagination, if you want to go that far. But for oneself, what type of dreams are you going to reflect on when you go to sleep tonight? If you sleep tonight, what type of dreams or messages that you think you're going to receive to bring all this together? So when you wake up and you see what type of things you're going to manifest, this is what we're talking about. So the card that we're going to have for this one this is great. I love this stuff. This stuff is crazy. This is a scary thing. So it's like dealing with my own houses, like my world. It's like bringing my world to y'all. It's crazy. So Aries, it says it all. And then again, when it comes to the current day situations, you got Uranus in Aries, and then Uranus is about to go in retrograde in 2 days, literally. So this is literally telling us a message. So when it comes to Aries, you want the basic level, they tell you it's how you say, what they say, I am. So when it comes to that word I am, what part of I dream that you're going to bring of you into this whole manifestation? What are you going to manifestate into this world that's going to come from you, within you, without outside of you, and all around into your world? When it comes to dealing with Aries, what type of fire are you going to bring? Because all we missing is Leo, for real. But Leo's in the sky, or how you say Leo's, the sun's in Leo. So we got all the fire elements like we were talking about earlier. So for the listening audience, what type of keyword are you going to bring or manifest into this world when dealing with your dreams, dealing with those deep rooted energy of bringing balance from chaos? Consistency. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Perseverance. Consistency and perseverance. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up. And then here's the mystery card, and this is going to put it all together, as I was saying earlier. Mindfulness, determination, action. That's what I'm talking about, folks. So now, remember I was telling y'all earlier about the certain planets that have a whole bunch of keywords. So the mystery card, as always, is Pluto. Pluto's already retrograde. But I tell you where Pluto is at currently in Sagittarius. Who rules Sagittarius? Jupiter. So a lot of balance and change is needed, and transformation is definitely going to be needed. Mindfulness, determination, action, perseverance, and consistency. That's the type of things that we need to manifest when we wake up tomorrow. Or if you go to sleep or not. Those are the type of things you want to focus on when you wake. Or if you go and do what is called sun gazing in your respective area. When the sun is in Leo, so you're dealing with not only Cyrus, the star Cyrus, Cyrus A, Cyrus B, but you're also dealing with the sun as well. All those energies is in the sky. So before I end the broadcast, I just want to let everyone know, thank you for being here. Dua, on the top of my head, definitely. So these key words that we have brought today, these are the type of energies you want to bring when you wake up tomorrow. From mindfulness, determination, actions, perseverance, consistency, the building of communities, promotion, harmony, balance, untapped energies, purifications, knowledge, and first and foremost, trust, as in trusting oneself, because at the end of the day, you got to trust in self to manifest everything else. Again, thank you for your time, everyone. It was a pleasure. Thank you for rocking with me on my solar return for the time that we have. And if you have any questions, concerns, put them in the comments. Those who are speaking on about couples, relationships, things of that nature, reach out to me on Facebook as Ramutef Qeb or Anu Ramutef Qeb. I am Ramutef Qeb. I am a student of Tesha Parad, Holy House of Ra. I'm a master astrologer of the Natal Chart and a keeper of time. My duty is to learn different divination, study them, master them, and bring it forth to the people so I can help and do my part. If you can find me on Instagram as Ramutef_Qeb. Reach out to me, speak to me, talk to me. Let's definitely get things popping. I have different divination methods. If you want to go different routes, we can. But at the same time, when it comes to those who seeked out, just hit me up on Facebook, message me, and we'll be able to see what's going on within your life as far as your couples and things of that nature. Atum Ra Ma Hotel.